What's approaching the supreme moment, reality striking closer than it seems, don't it? Go ahead.
What's good? Bad habits kicking in again. I've got the itch to waste orbs on a useless unit. This time it's going to be the 100% potential of the Extreme Strength Hyper Meta-Rilldo. That is a free-to-play unit. The story event's currently open in JP right now, so I went ahead and finished the farm and unlocked all the dupe paths, and here we go, 100%. So the first thing about this guy is he reminds me of like the Power Rangers, you know, robots that you know, back in the day type shit. So I've got the Power Rangers theme music on blast in the background. Let's have a little fun. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this is a complete waste of orbs, so do not copy what I'm doing. This is purely for entertainment purposes. Just trying to have some fun and kick it a little bit. Alright, so let me cover the stats, although it doesn't really matter because the unit sucks ass anyway. But this is, so like I said, this is the Hyper Meta-Rilldo unit. Leader skill is Strength type, HP and Defense, increase of 50%. Super attack will cause extreme damage to enemy and also lowers attack. The passive skill when facing one enemy is going to add +2 ki and then attack increase of 4,000. Link skills, loyalty is going to add +1 ki, thirst for conquest, 15% increase attack, auto regeneration, 3% recovery of HP, GT +2 ki, mechanical menaces +1 ki. So as you saw, maxed out HP is 10,953, attack is 10,076, defense of 6,987, 12 ki multiplier is 130%. So just to give you a heads up, I brought in a bunch of supporting units to kind of give him as much of an increase as possible, but he really is not going to hit that hard. He is really in dire need of a Dokkan Awaken, honestly. I mean, I don't even know if that'll happen. I doubt it, but if it does, I kind of thought about that and gave him level 12 for additional attack and level 14 for critical, just in case. I don't know if he does get a Dokkan Awaken. I expect the lower attack as part of the super attack will probably convert over to greatly lower attack, and then maybe some increases toward the passive skill. You know, instead of you know, +2 ki attack of 4,000, maybe a percentage based attack increase and whatnot. You know, who knows? But honestly, this is one of those types of boredom, bad decision making type of stuff. So like I said, don't copy what I do. This is merely for entertainment purposes. I tend to have a bad habit of doing dumb shit every now and then, so hopefully you guys are enjoying it just as much as I am. So as part of the team, I did bring in units that had thirst for conquest, as well as, you know, their individual passive skills that helps out the rest of the team. So you will see the Rildo unit linked up with the Turles unit throughout the videos, just because Turles does have thirst for conquest, along with, you know, the ki boost, as well as the 40% increase to attack. Now once he transforms, it'll drop the super type enemy's defense by 80% as well. So I'm just trying to help out, you know, this guy as much as possible. The World Tournament Cell again does provide 30% increase to attack and defense for extreme type allies too, so definitely providing him as much help as he can get. But he's still a very underwhelming unit, so definitely don't waste your time you know, maxing this unit out to rainbow status. I don't recommend it, but for shits and giggles, it's kind of fun. I don't know, I feel like eventually these units will get a Dokkan Awaken at some point. They haven't really, you know, kind of brushed on you know, the GT kind of category type units as heavily as they could. So, you know, maybe at some point we'll get a GT category, specifically a GT category, you know what I mean? But maybe at that point this unit will become somewhat useful. For the time being, complete trash unit. Not even getting this guy to rainbow status is going to help him. I mean, he's still trash, honestly, but hey, it's a worthy collection for the deck. I mean, it's pretty hilarious when I look at my deck and I see this guy at 100% potential, so I don't really care. I had the orbs for it, so might as well have fun. One thing I will say about this unit is the card art is actually not bad. It looks kind of badass a little bit. So I guess that's one good thing about it. Maybe at some point he'll get, you know, like I said, instead of a 4,000 increase to attack, maybe he'll get like a percentage base. At least, you know, like 50 or 60 would be reasonable. But, you know, we'll have to see. I mean, this guy's pretty much unheard of nowadays. I don't really know of anybody talking about him. So, you know, we'll have to see what the deal is with this guy's future. It's not looking too bright right now, though. I mean, at the end of the day, like, this guy is able to put out over 300,000 with the critical against, you know, these types of enemies. I mean, let's face it. I mean, these enemies aren't necessarily bad. I mean, they're not as current as events nowadays, but they're still tougher bosses. So I guess at the end of the day, 300,000 with the criticals for this guy is pretty reasonable and respectable to a certain degree, but again, it does cost a lot of potential orbs to get him to this level, so definitely not worth it in my opinion. But you know, I was just bored, and I make very bad decisions when I get bored. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, I guess. But you got to keep in mind too, he's hitting like that with all the support that he's getting from, you know, various units within the rotation. So like, him going through it solo is probably going to be hitting, you know, substantially less. It's going to be like very, very pathetic numbers, honestly. Alright, so for that case, 80% defense drop for the Gohan unit because of Turles. So, you know, the numbers definitely get bloated based on, you know, the condition of the rotation itself. But I mean, I guess at the same time, like, you do run these types of teams, so, you know, I mean, it's pretty realistic in a way too. I mean, I guess the best way to put it in perspective is, you know, the better units are able to hit like 150,000 with the normal attack. You know what I mean? And this guy supers for that amount, so definitely puts it in perspective. But again, at the end of the day, I guess it's all relative too. I mean, it really depends on, you know, at this guy's level, hitting for the amount he is, I guess it is pretty decent. Not really, but I guess it is. This guy will definitely not break the 500,000 barrier, though. I think around that 350,000 with all the help that he gets is probably going to be the limit for this guy. The unfortunate thing about him is he doesn't fall into any categories, so, you know, maybe at some point, like I said, whether it's going to be a GT category or whatever it's going to be, you know, maybe we'll have like an actual category where he gets a decent boost. Like right now with the setup, it's you know, 120% leads with the Tech First Form Frieza. So I mean, that's the best he can get at this point. Well, the one good thing I will say, besides the card art, is the fact that he does get a ki boost when he's only facing one enemy. So most of the times in like Dokkan events, you're typically only facing one enemy. So he's not really going to have any issues getting a super attack, you know, every time he's up. Not that it really matters, because at the end of the day, even with the critical at 100% potential, he's only going to hit for like, you know, 275 to, you know, 300,000. So it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But if he does get a significant increase or improvement with the Dokkan Awaken, you know, maybe this guy at some point can be somewhat useful. or usable, I guess is a better word for it. So we are running through the boss rush stage 5. Fortunately, at the end against the Super Vegito unit, he is gonna have type advantage against the physical type. So hopefully we can kind of close it out on a good note. Maybe see some criticals and some higher numbers. But I mean, hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this. I don't know, kind of foolish video. I mean, it's really pretty much me trolling, because I would never recommend doing this to anyone. I mean, it's a horrendous decision. So hopefully you got some entertainment out of it, just as much as I did. And certainly appreciate you watching. Every now and then I am gonna do stupid ass decisions like this, where I end up maxing out ridiculously obsolete units just for the hell of it. But it's always fun to switch it up every now and then, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and certainly appreciate you watching.